We're here now with the legal answer brought to you by Sinas Law Firms, where we have questions coming from you, the public, and they'll provide the legal answer. And joining us today is Stephen Sinas, and he's going to talk to us about something we all have but don't necessarily always understand. So, Stephen, let's talk a little bit today about Michigan auto no-fault insurance. Now, right now on your screen, we have your declaration sheet, but let's start talking about the basics. Tell us, what exactly is personal protection insurance?
Yeah, so everybody should try to look at their own declaration sheet. This is a sample sheet on screen, but you should look at your own. And the first place to start is understanding that personal protection insurance includes the coverage that provides us no-fault benefits if we're injured in an accident. And we get those benefits regardless of whether we're at fault. Here's the basic things they include. Your medical expense coverage for your injuries, 3 years of income loss if you can't work because of your injuries, and a limited amount of money to fund your household chores that you might not be able to do because of your injuries. I don't have time here to go into all the nuances, but those are the basic benefits, and that's what that line item of coverage is all about.
Okay, perfect. Now, another item is MCCA assessment fee. What on earth is that?
Again, giving the short explanation, it's a fee we all have to pay to fund the medical expense coverage that makes up the Michigan no-fault insurance system.
Okay, so it's something we all pay. So I'm glad you're saying this because this is something that affects all of us, but we're not necessarily sure how to navigate this. Right. So now let's talk about liability insurance. What is that?
When you think of liability insurance, think that is coverage that you're buying in the event you make a mistake and you hurt somebody and they sue you because of the damages that you've caused them. So it's coverage we're buying to protect ourselves in the event we hurt somebody and they bring a civil action against us.
Got it.
And there are limits to that coverage, and you might want to increase your limits so that you have the most amount of protection from a lawsuit.
Okay.
For example, I have $1 million of liability insurance, plus more through an umbrella insurance, because I want to make sure that I can protect people if I ever make a mistake and injure them.
Awesome. Okay, and so when we sit down with an attorney, that's when you can kind of decide as to whether or not you need more of that type of insurance or perhaps less, and you can make the best decision for you.
That's right.
All right, now let's talk about uninsured and underinsured motorist coverage. Define that.
So it's kind of the opposite of liability insurance. It's coverage we're buying in the event somebody hurts us but doesn't have enough insurance coverage to cover our damages.
Oh, okay.
So we're buying coverage to make our insurance company stand in the shoes of the at-fault party and pay the damages as if our insurance company was them. So that's a way to protect yourself against a situation where you get hurt by a driver who doesn't have insurance, doesn't have enough insurance, and you're severely hurt.
Got it.
I highly recommend people buy that for protection for them and their family.
Got it. Okay, so that's one of that you highly recommend. Now, what about collision coverage? Is that something you highly recommend as well?
Yes. Well, collision coverage is the coverage you need to buy if you want to have coverage for your vehicle damage. You can only sue an at-fault driver up to $3,000 for vehicle damage if you don't have your own coverage. So if you want to make sure that car you're leasing or they have car payments on, it's actually protected, you buy collision coverage to cover that.
Got it. Okay, now Stephen, you broke down a whole lot with us. And I know you gave us one recommendation about uninsured and underinsured motorist coverage, but do you have any other recommendations that you want our viewers to know that you recommend they should buy?
I only got a little time here. Here's how it works. Lifetime medical expense coverage on your no-fault benefits, as much liability insurance coverage as you can buy, and as much underinsured, uninsured motorist coverage you can buy.
Thank you so much, Stephen, for breaking down all of this for us, because auto insurance is something that almost all of us here will find ourselves needing, but it's very difficult for us to understand what each and every single individual item is. So thank you for explaining that all to us, and we'll have more on this online at WILX.com. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much.